Hi everybody, it's the CCJT Amateur Hour where production values go to die. It is Sunday, November 17th, episode 198. Wow. Next week is Thanksgiving.
So a week from Thursday. A week from, so it's still 2 Thursdays.
Yeah, but yes. Still, a week from Thursday.
Already.
Wow. We're testing out some stuff here, and we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, we want to say good morning from the Carson City headquarters of the Oakland Ballers, baby! Ballers! It's a semi-pro team, which is based in Oakland, California. What?
At the moment, they're based in Davis.
Yeah, but they're based in East Bay! East Bay, baby! And we are part owners. We are fan owners, which is the technical term. We own stock in the Oakland Ballers.
Yes.
And so, Ballers, baby!
So the brief backstory to that is the Oakland A's have played their last game at the Oakland Coliseum, or the OCO, and they are going to be playing at least a couple of seasons in Sacramento with the Sacramento River Cats, who are a AAA team. And then they are supposed to be moving to Las Vegas, where the Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders also moved. So that's, in my opinion, still up in the air. They have not yet broke ground on
athletics park.
Athletics park. Right. Moving to Las Vegas is up in the air because they haven't yet broke ground on the stadium, but you know, the odds.
Yeah, I also have 50-50. I think that Sacramento is going to build them a stadium before Las Vegas does, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, Ballers, baby! And
I guess it's Sutter Health Field now. It used to be Raley Field in Sacramento. Actually, it's a very nice little ballpark, but it is not a major league ballpark. It's along the Sacramento River Delta and the Tower Bridge in that area there. And it's not too far from Old Town. So the location of the park is very nice, but it really does not have the infrastructure for a major league team. Plus, both the River Cats and the A's will be playing there. So it's going to be an interesting couple of seasons.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, what we're doing here is we're you know, the CCJT Amateur Hour is famous for where production values go to die, and we've been dealing with, you know, mixtures of places through the house, mixtures of equipment, mixtures of
snowball.
So we're going to be trying out microphones. I don't think you can see them against our black background, but we're trying out microphones now, so we're going to give that a try, and hopefully the audio is a little more evened out.
So what we're doing this morning is actually we're recording with our snowball mic, just in case. We are recording with the lavalier mics using GarageBand on my iPhone, which could be interesting.
Which is why we're peeking at our phone every once in a while.
Just to make sure, and then we have the video going on JT's iPhone. So we have phones all over the place.
And we, of course, are enjoying our Jack in the Box coffee. They always do a wonderful job, Jack in the Box, at the corner of Stewart and William in Carson City. We just
Sunday morning routine. I was just thinking this morning, I wonder if the crew on Sunday mornings, if there's a regular crew, if they recognize our order coming in now.
Yeah, it comes with the same name every day. So
actually, quick tangent based on that, there have been rumors that Wendy's will be closing some locations. So while we were out and about this week, we stopped off at our Wendy's where we met. Hopefully it's not on the closure list, but if you're in the Carson City area, please give the North Carson Wendy's some love, and let's see if we can keep them open.
Yeah, really, because we met there so many years ago, which is actually a good reason to tear it down, but we're not going to go there.
Same building, they just remodeled it.
Yeah, we met there in 1981, and we got married in 1982, and oh my dear God,
that Wendy's has been there for a long time, and we've discussed that ad infinitum. Yeah. But yeah, definitely.
January 3rd.
That would be a story for New Year's, I think.
Yeah, we'll save that one for New Year's.
We may do that for New Year's.
Okay. So anyway, it was an eventful week here at the World podcast, Old Riders podcast. What?
At the worldwide headquarters.
At the worldwide headquarters, it's been really it's been eventful. We continue the soft copies, hard copies, continue to go out the door, and we dropped off more books for the Depot Gallery because I sold a book and I got
a check,
actual hard copy. This is my first hard copy check. Everything else has been, deposited into accounts electronically.
Right.
This is my first hard copy check as a writer in X number of years. I still haven't deposited it into the banking account yet. I should do that.
You should,
but
because you don't have to deposit the check itself anymore.
So we're going to put this in a frame, but still, it's like, this is my first hard copy check, and that's just a really fantastic feeling. So because I sold a book at the Depot Gallery, we had to send a replacement, and we're going to be putting offering more books to the Depot Gallery too, because very soon I'm going to have 3 safe for work books that are centric.
Are they really? There are some
they're PG
dubious.
PG-13. Yeah,
but they'll be Nevada centric.
Yeah, they're 3 that are specifically Nevada centric. It's both Sheriff books and the Zoe book, which is coming out next year. So, but we also did something. We donated books. We donated books to Talking Books, and tell us a little bit about Talking Books.
So I've mentioned that I used to work at the Nevada State Library and Archives, and one of the programs within the Nevada State Library is called Talking Books, and it is a program that helps people who have disabilities access reading materials. It started out as Library for the Blind, and it mainly focused on Braille books, but it has expanded into recorded books, and there is a national program. So if you are in a state other than Nevada, you can actually go out to your local, I'm not sure if all state libraries do it, how it works in other states, but in Nevada, it goes through the Nevada State Library, and someone would have to sign up for the program, have a specific disability, they can't hold a book for some reason, they have visual impairment, something like that, and then you are able to actually either download an electronic copy of a book, similar to Libby or something like that, if you do that through your library. Or they have physical equipment if people don't use that type of technology. There are also different, I believe they still do use Braille books, like physical Braille books, but it's not as common. So they have fiction, they have nonfiction, and they also have magazines. So we donated Sheriff in Nevada and a Sheriff in Nevada Downfall. They do have volunteers who record the books. There are some sound cubicles in the Nevada State Library where their volunteers go in and do the recordings of the books. They're then put in the system so that the patrons can access them. And I also believe that they may go into the national system as well. So even though they're Nevada-centric books and they would have been recorded in Nevada, I believe they may be available nationally. So it's a very good program. In the entire time, I worked at the State Library and Archives for more than 17 years. That program has always been very robust, and I've watched the transition from them sending out all the recording or the listening machines, the devices and tapes to, they don't do that quite as much as they used to, but they are the ones that get the most traffic in the library structure, because the State Library is more of a resource for state agencies. They don't get a lot of public foot traffic, but the Talking Books program is amazing, it's excellent, and it's very well utilized. So if it's something that's available in your area, I definitely recommend checking it out.
And 2 More Books was very, very happy to donate the books to this most worthy cause.
Yes.
So, some writers will say, well, libraries, all versions of libraries are kind of the bane of our existence because, people don't go out and buy books. But, the flip side is the purpose of your writing is to have people read your books.
Yes.
And so for this very worthy cause to give people additional access to these books is great. So looking forward to literally hearing more about this and hearing if it works out. I can tell you though, from dropping off the books, they had me even sign the books. They're very grateful to receive donations. Yes. They're very grateful.
Very much.
So it was our pleasure. It was our honor to do that. So that was pretty gosh darn cool. I mentioned 2 More Books. We are making significant steps as I'm doing this transition here. We're making significant steps towards our company, towards our LLC. And I can see why writers would hesitate to do an LLC because it's, especially for folks that have been in public service like CC and I have been in our entire career, that's kind of a mystery. But we feel, as I've said in the past, we feel that it gives us a level of authenticity, it gives us a level
Legitimacy.
And so, so January 1, we're looking forward to having 2 more books LLC out there. And so, if you want to watch the progress of that, you can check us out at www.2morebooks.com. And you'll be able to see that we're starting to slowly germinate. We're starting to slowly grow with it, and we'll flip the switch on January 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Tell me, what's your gut feeling about doing this thing?
Well, as you said, we've been in public service for a long time, so we both understand bureaucracy and regulations and things like that based on the state government framework. So that part of it doesn't bother me, because that's something that we've both dealt with for a couple of decades at least at this point. But the idea that we are on the other side of that now is a little overwhelming. When I was a kid, my dad had a business. He owned a feed store, and it was never incorporated or anything, but I saw what went into running his feed store. Basically, he was open 6 days a week. It ran 7 days a week because he'd go get feed on Sundays and stuff. So the idea of having a business, and we are definitely a 24/7 operation, because as we've mentioned before, well, the thing is that as writers, we are always thinking about writing. We're always planning writing. We are always, even when we're asleep, I know, probably going into our topic for the day, we're thinking about story ideas, or things pop into our heads. So it's an overwhelming idea because it is a lot.
Yep. And we want to do a special shout out. Let me make sure I do this right. We want to do a special shout out to Sayer Law, who is helping us out with this. Of course, we're paying her, but still, it's we want to give a free plug to our lawyer.
And this is where we say that we do not give legal advice. Yep. We do not give financial advice. So don't take anything we say as a a hard and fast rule. We're trying to figure this out as we go, and that's why we are getting legal assistance.
Yeah. Our experiences apply to us.
Yes.
You may gain benefit from it, but our experiences apply to us. But we're still, very, very excited about it. Mm-hmm. But and now this gives us a good transition to the writing part of it. And Cece, you mentioned that you were at the halfway point of the edit of your VC book. Would that be a correct statement?
Yes. It started to flow a little bit, and then I had a couple of down days this week. So it's stalled, but I am hopeful to have this draft done before Thanksgiving. So within the next week or so. I'm at a point where I was unknotting some sticky plot points, knotting, Knotting, that I think I've got those straightened out now, so the story should flow better.
Okay, and and that's awesome, because this has been a work in progress for since the 20th century.
No, not that long.
Not that long.
It's only been a decade, but even so.
Yeah, even so, probably feels like it.
Yes.
But that's not unusual, because the book that we got highlighted here in front, Serving Salvation, took me, I started this during the lockdown, because I just sort of was tapping along saying, I have this idea. And that particular book went through so many variations. It was just really funny. At one time, it had killer space robots in it. I took it out, but now they're back in it, but they're not really space robots. Anyway.
But that's another story, you are going to talk about?
Yeah, and so the prequel to this book is in its final stages, and it's a novella at, I think, like 36,000 words. So it counts as a novella. So I'm going to be putting that out here. That's probably going to be the next one that goes out. I'm not sure. Zoe is also in its final stages, and it just worked out that way. Because there was a logjam at my editors, and I just threw the prequel.
Well, that's not 100% true. The logjam, part of it is because you had a little bit of a delay. So one thing led to another, and this editorial service has been great. So it wasn't their fault, but this is a busy time of year for people. So the timing, the original due date for the editing passed. So
and that's a very good point, and I need to clarify that, because I made it sound like it was their fault. It wasn't their fault.
No.
What happened was the book went through beta read. Mm-hmm. Zoe went through beta read, and the opinion was unanimous that the ending could be improved by light years. And so what happened was, read it up to was one of the beta readers. And so what happened was, it's on a very tight schedule. And so what I had to do is I basically had to pull it out of the schedule, pull Zoe out of the schedule. And that's on me. That's on me. And I lost my place.
Right.
And as I should have. And so Zoe got delayed because of that. So I originally hoped to release Zoe in 2024, but it's going to end up being early 2025. I don't know which is going to be released first, either Finding Salvation, Part 1, the novella, or Zoe. So I'm not sure which going to be. We're still working that out.
So just a quick little side note here, if I'm not mistaken. Finding Salvation and Zoe are two very different books.
Oh, so very different.
One of them is hard sci-fi, which is Finding Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say Zoe is a little sci-fi adjacent, maybe.
Yeah, but sci-fi adjacent.
But isn't there a connection between the two?
Yeah, there is a connection.
That if people read both books, I'll be interested to see if you find the connection.
Yeah.
It's a very small detail, but that's something intriguing. If you get both books and read them, find that connection and let us know, because it is subtle. And I was thinking about it because I read the first part of Finding Salvation yesterday. And I was thinking about that because you'd mentioned it previously, but it'll be interesting. So get Zoe, get Finding Salvation Part 1, and let us know if you figure out that subtle connection between the two books.
It was kind of fun, actually, because I was going to try to see if I get them all connected in the same universe. But so I'm going to just get answer that question right up front. Yeah, they do all happen in the same universe, but they don't happen in our universe. It's a fictional universe.
Of course.
So,
but there is at least one detail in Zoe that should stand out if you read both books.
Yep, it should be fun. So last thing we want to talk about just very quickly before we get into our main subject is we're going to talk about Black Friday sale. And it's like, I just remembered that. I just wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. So Black Friday to Cyber Monday, we're going to have X number of books either on sale or for free. I haven't decided which. What do you remember what we talked about?
Well, at least Tundra, because I'm still on my quest to have our festering turd of a book be #1 for the holidays, or be sold for the holidays.
Or something. But we haven't decided yet whether we're going to do them for free or we're going to...
I thought we were going with 99¢, but it could be free, depending. Maybe some of both.
Yeah, we could do, so we'll figure it out. But so we're going to start advertising for this week, so people, so the things will go on, so it's a week from Friday.
Yes, so
it's
the 29th.
From Friday, Monday, Tuesday, so... might help if I bring up a calendar.
I believe it starts on the 29th.
Is that what it is? I'll just take word for it, because if I were to look it up, production values, then we already know about it.
It is the Friday after Thanksgiving. So going from the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is Black Friday.
29th, 30th.
29th. So then the Saturday is actually Shop Small Saturday. So
again.
Yes, perfect. And then it goes until Cyber Monday.
Right. So what we might do is we might do, multiple books, this book on this day, this book on this day, but we haven't figured it out. Don't hold us to it, because obviously not only our production values go here today, other things too. But. Well,
I am determined to have Tundra out there at least one day.
Right.
Or maybe the whole weekend. Who knows? Yeah. It'll be a surprise.
I'm just telling this to say this out loud to CC is we're already at the 19-minute point of our
whoops.
And so we've been talking so much about the other stuff going on that we barely have time to touch on our subject, but we can still do it.
We could wait. We can just continue to chat.
We could continue to chat. So if we were to continue to chat...
well, how are you feeling about how things are going?
It's a little nerve-wracking, but it's... for having been in, people do public service, for many reasons, for the security, especially for the job security. Used to be the benefits, not so much. But you knew where your paycheck was, but the next paycheck was, where in private industry, being in a private industry now, we never know when our next paycheck is coming from. Sort of like, So,
and we both did private industry too at one point, because we had breaks in service and things. So we've done both.
So it's you know, starting up a company, and quite honestly, being the CFO of 2 more books, watching the money just go out the door. It's like a ship that's, you know, had a big hole in it, and just, you know. But now, I know we're doing this for the future, and I know that these are, you know, one-time financial expenditures.
And the other thing is that the scale at which we're doing this. Someone who's starting a bigger company is going to be expending a lot more money up front, and we will be putting more money out as we become an LLC, because there will be seed money for that. Yeah. So that is coming from our pockets. That's coming from our pensions. But we are hopeful that, and we are actually seeing it in very small doses, that it is bearing fruit. Yeah. Because we've gotten JT's books into some libraries this year. JT got the first check for one of his books from a bookstore. We have been selling physical copies. There was one day, I don't remember if it was this past week, but you didn't mention that just randomly someone bought a copy of Sheriff and Downfall in paperback.
And so it's fun.
It's taking off. The Sheriff books have been popular for us, at least. Yeah. So, you know, it's slow, but it's been somewhat steady, and people have been checking out our website. Our little podcast won an award. I mean, we've had quite the year, and we started this officially when I retired at the end of March. So it's what, 8 months now? Yeah. So yes, we are, you know, I don't know if we're hemorrhaging money right now, but it's definitely bleeding a little bit.
Yeah. Oh no, we're bleeding money. We're bleeding money. So, but
we're hopeful in 25 that will turn around. Yeah. So that depends on you.
We're not trying, and this isn't trying to be a guilt trip, but
no.
But it is a little, from a money point of view, and you know, I've been the family CFO forever, and we've had our lows.
And, the fact that we are where we are, and that we were able to retire from our jobs with minimal debt. We went through a phase where we were very deeply in debt. So it can be turned around. I don't know. It's going to be hard in the next few years to do that. But just keep the faith. Because if you're in that place, it can be done.
But it's still watching the money hemorrhage as we get this all set up. And it's not only that, of course. It's, you know, there's the normal cost of, you know, doing the business, such as the editing and things like that, and the book covers. And you know, I just this month we've spent, you know, literally thousands of dollars between the company and the covers and the edits. And you know, and I know that there's going to be independent writers out there that are going to be saying, why are you spending so much money? But the other flip side of that is we don't have 2 Harley Davidsons in our driveway. So, as an example, we do not have an RV in our driveway. We have Herbie.
We don't fix classic cars, you know. A lot of retirees get into those kind of hobbies, and that's great. I mean, everybody should do something that they enjoy and something that they've always wanted to do. And this is us.
This is us. So, you know, so on one hand, so I feel like we're hemorrhaging money, but on the flip side, this is what this is what we wanted to do when we retired.
And there's something you forgot to mention. To bring in money, you're planning a side gig.
Oh, right. We're going to talk about, you forgot the side gig too. So if you go out to 2morebooks.com and you click on designs, what it is I'm doing not a cover design, but I'm trying to start up a side gig to
format
the interiors of books for independent writers, which is a real super headache for some writers. And so go out to 2morebooks.com, click on designs, 2 more designs, and you'll see that the side gig that I'm trying to set up is to do that formatting, to work with writers to do that. Now, if you're an independent writer and you're seeing this on November 17th, I'm looking for guinea pigs to do this for free, so I can see how well I learn the application, to see how well I work with the customer to get that done. So if you are an independent writer, let's talk about two more designs. You know, it just fell out of 2 more books, 2 more designs. And let me design your book for you, the interior of your book for you. And you know, maybe we can work together. And maybe if you have multiple books, like Cece and I have, maybe we can go through your entire library, get it formatted so you can do it to all 5 platforms. Amazon, I never get these all right. Amazon, Google, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Apple.
Yes.
And paperbacks, Apple and Barnes & Noble.
Right.
No Ingram Sparks yet. No
like
Ingram
this.
Sparks yet. Not going to do that yet. Because that's, I hear that's a different monster. So no
well, and then there's also Draft to Digital. We don't know anything about either Ingram or Draft to Digital. So those other 5 platforms, and what JT didn't mention is that he's already been doing quite a bit of this in the program, so that he is familiar with the basics, and it looks good. It's slick. So
so if you want to get 7, so it's like our little our little library has got something like 80 different places, iterations across the 5 platforms, in ebook and in paperback, so that it's really fun. So if this is something that you're interested in, go out to 2 more books. There's links out there that'll get you in contact with me. And that we just passed the 26-minute part. It doesn't feel like we did anything at all here.
No, we've been talking, like you said, we had a busy week. So there's a lot going on. We are just steamrolling along at this point, I think, in building 2 more books.
Yeah. So
we do have more product coming out. 25 is going to be a big year for books.
Yeah, we're going to be at least 3 or 4 books.
With our company, with JT potentially doing his side hustle. I may have a side hustle that not talking about yet because it's still ephemeral, but we've got a lot planned, and our goal is to help writers write. This could be, if you need assistance, maybe you've only been putting your books out in ebook format to this point, and you want to hold a paperback in your hands, maybe we can help you get there.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and close this down because we are literally out of time.
Yep.
This is we just sat down and we started talking. Obviously, well caffeinated from our friends at Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jack. We call Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack and Uncle Steve are our friends. And good morning to Uncle Steve, by the way. Uncle Stephen.
If you ever see this, Uncle Steve, we're sorry.
Okay, we really need to go away now. So sitting across from me is CC,
and across from me is JT.
Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you about our chosen topic next week. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.